You've been playing this game for a little bit too long, alright? It's time for you to unplug for a minute. You know, this game's getting boring. This character that you have to play at all times, it's losing its spunk, it's losing its fun, it's losing, spirit. And you're exhausted. And I mean, that's what happens when you don't take a break. When you are constantly stimulated and you're constantly living in the physical world, you're constantly looking at things, you're constantly listening to things, you're never taking time to give your system, the computer of your body that is processing all of that, you never let it rest, you never turn it off. You're keeping a car running 24/7. You're keeping that computer running, you're never rebooting. And so what happens then is you stop remembering that you're not this character, that you are not just the player making the character do things, but you're the programmer of the game. That your character does things to acquire things in the external world that bring you value, but that you're not that. Sometimes you need to play that game. And it's not like you can just, so being a monk is kind of silly, because you lose that character, your ego, completely. That's not a good thing. You need to have a balance, however. And right now, you have no balance at all. Train. I think we tend to think that if we let go, if we stop constantly trying to figure out ourselves and thinking about ourselves, obsessing about ourselves in our own lives, we're going to lose the skills to play that game. That if we stop practicing all the time and we let ourselves take a break, we're going to somehow forget how to play the game. But actually what happens is the opposite. When you let yourself take a break, then you come back rested, you come back full, you come back excited to play the game. And you could think of this actually analogous to like video games or anything you've done too much in your life. That when you do it too much, you get very bored of doing it. That game's not going to have the same energy and the same excitement that it had when you first started playing it. So you could play different games. Serve the different parts of your soul. Maybe you've been too much in go mode, and maybe you need to just completely take a break from all of it. But maybe you just need a change of mind. You need to play a different game. I think it's good to just stop playing any game altogether. Let yourself take a break. And rest, taking breaks from the game, it actually makes you better because it allows your system time to cool, time to reboot. When you come back, you'll feel stronger, you'll feel more focused. So what can you do? I mean, meditation is the best thing. Listen to like a binaural beat, close your eyes, lay down, and think about how good it feels to not have to think, to not have to focus, to let your mind wander, to not feel the pressure to think of any particular thing or figure anything out. It's honestly one of the greatest pleasures of life that I don't think we get any of now. We're always thinking about things, we're always stimulated by something, we always have some kind of noise going to keep us in that kind of mindset. When you let yourself let go, it really allows you to reset and to not feel like life is a burden and an obligation, but it's a gift. And it's something that you get to do, and you get to play that game. You don't have to play that game because you're practicing letting go. You're practicing stopping playing the game. It's actually a skill. We're innately sort of wired to play the game because of fear. We fear that if we stop playing the game again, like I said, we'll lose the ability to do it. We'll stop having those skills and we'll lose out on it. But it's really just the fear that's stopping you from actually expressing yourself in the way that you need to. And often when you allow yourself to quiet down and get rid of the stimulation, what you find is things become a lot clearer. All the noise, all the stimulation, it's not making things clearer. It's adding too many ideas. You need less. We think more is better, but you need less. You need radical nothingness for a little bit. And you'll find that it's like a pond, that if you want to see what's at the bottom of a pond, you don't stir it up, you let it sit. And when you let it sit, the bottom becomes very clear. And the real you is the bottom of the pond. The real thing beneath the ego, bigger than the ego, the real you in your essence, the experiencer, the consciousness underneath it all, that emerges and things become a lot clearer. You can finally see that part of yourself, and maybe different emotional things you've been dealing with, different spiritual things you've been dealing with, even physical things you've been dealing with, not realizing that you're just exhausted. Those things pop up and you start to realize what's been bothering you. And once you realize that, and you can take a minute away from it, if not clarity, more clarity, you'll have more peace as well. Because you now know what to do and what to solve and what it is that's bothering you. It's not just this cloud of, oh man, I don't know what's going on, I feel horrible. So you can then confront those parts of yourself. You'll never confront it if you don't allow yourself to let go of the ego, of the character that you play. And that character, again, it is useful. You do need it at times, but if you use it all the time, it's going to screw you in the long run. So take a break. You've been playing this game for way too long, and you haven't taken a break. Stop playing for a little bit. Rest. And come back stronger.